everybody, Lance here, mind of a B.M.C. Now I apologize, this video was supposed to have been up yesterday, but I had so many issues with my editing software, I'm finally putting it up today. Now, I'm getting on that bandwagon like everybody else, and it's going to be about Don Lemon. Now look guys, he was on Bill Maher's podcast. Now I'll be the first person to admit I got my issues with Mark, that piece of work. But we're not going to talk about that, at least here at the moment. What I'm going to do is, I'm going to talk about a few things he talked about on this podcast. Now, I'll put the link to the description of this video below. And I'm doing that because a lot of it, one, is copyright, and two, I want you to watch it for yourself. It's about an hour and 40 minutes long, so you can see for yourself. Now, in clip number 1 I'm going to use, this is right at the very beginning, and he's talking about Al Franken. So let's go to clip number 1, and let's see exactly what he said.
Franken. It was the dumbest thing that I've ever seen. I had a really tough time. I'm in New York. I had a really tough time, filling in the dot for Kristen Gillibrand because she did that, and she was such, virtue signaling.
Don, I'm sure if you had a nickel for every time someone's hand drifted down your waist when you were taking a picture with them, you'd be a very rich man.
And you know what? Maher is 100% at the end of that because he'd be a very rich man. And I know Lemon knows this. But to the first part about Al Franken, that was a situation to where the left got a taste of its own medicine and they didn't like it. He got outright caught with pictures and got deep six for it. And it was disgusting about the whole thing, and people on the left was trying to defend him on that. And I don't know even why that was even brought up at all by Lemon. I mean, was he looking for it out? I have no idea. Maybe there's something he wanted to get off his chest that wasn't on network television. Now, if it's the latter, I totally respect that. But why bring up something like that now that happened years and years and years ago, to where, hey, what comes around goes around. Now, the second thing I want to talk about is this next part. He's talking about MAGA. Now, people who know me, I voted for Trump, and I am no MAGA superfan. Everybody knows this. So I was thinking to myself, okay, let's see exactly what they said, and I'm going to talk about this a little bit in depth. So let's cue up video number 2.
Let me ask you your opinion on this. Saturday Night Live 50th anniversary show. They did one thing, they did a sketch where Tom Hanks puts on a MAGA hat, so he's a Trumper, and then Keenan comes over to shake his hand, and he won't shake his hand.
Yeah.
And I said this on Fareed's show the other day. I found that so old. I didn't vote for him. I get all the bad things about that administration, but if you think they don't shake black people's hands, it's just you're wrong. That's not who they are. Matt Gaetz shakes black people's hands. Kid Rock will shake your hand. It's just not helpful to think that half the country that's where they are. That's your
Still, you're a comedian. It's part of its comedy.
I understand.
But let's be honest. There's a huge faction of the MAGA movement that's really fucking racist.
I wouldn't say huge. No, I'd say partly.
I would say huge.
Yeah. Okay. Well, we have different perspectives.
I would say huge, and even if they're not, you have to overlook a lot of that in order to support Donald Trump, which I think is maybe even more egregious than just saying I'm a racist.
Okay, let's talk about this for a moment. Now, there's no question there's racists out there. Now, is it overblown? Oh yeah. There's racists out there, not as many as the left thinks. And this is that old talking point to where, and I'm going to sit up here a little bit about this, that anybody supports Trump is a racist. Now that is so 2016. Is that the only talking point that you have? Even Bill Maher, if you actually watched more of that particular segment was on a little on the long side, even Maher even questioned Don Lemon on that one. And let me tell you something. Just because you're a MAGA person doesn't make you a racist. That's why Maher checked him on it, if you actually watch more of that. Why even go down that road? In all honesty, I think some of the biggest racists right now are people on the far, far, far left. I'm talking so far to the left, to the right of everybody. And I've been saying that part for years. So why even say that? I just don't get it. I mean, you're saying that because you think your side is pure as the fresh fallen snow. And I find that personally insulting to the intelligence of a lot of people. Because people voted for Trump for a myriad of reasons, not because they're racist. You know this. So why even go on a podcast like that and even say that? And yes, I know people gonna watch this. It's gonna blast me for that statement, but I'm calling a spade there. You know it's a spade. Actually, I'm calling it worse than a spade. But why even go there? But I promised myself I'm gonna keep this PG on this video. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go to, I'm going to clip number 3. Now you talk about black Americans in general on this, and this is where he's getting body slammed on. So I'm gonna let you watch it for yourself, and I'm gonna talk about this.
In whatever sense it is, it could be promoting a product, it could be promoting themselves, and you are doing something that is out of the box to get attention, just for the sake of getting attention, or just for the sake of pure ambition. Where if the same thing that when I see not all black Republicans, but I see a black MAGA person who is carrying Donald Trump's water and they know that he's lying, it is the shortest line to the front. Because if you're black and you're whatever, you're just in line with a bunch of other Democrats that are doing the same thing that you're doing. But if you become a black MAGA person, it's like, whoa, let's book this person, let's put him on television.
So you don't
Let's
think you can
promote.
be a sincere black MAGA person?
No, I just said, I don't think that. I just said I think there can be sincere Republicans.
But you can't be a sincere black Republican?
I don't think that you can. I don't think that you can be a rational MAGA, be black and be a rational MAGA person. I think you can be black and be a Republican.
I think they would find that very insulting.
Well, I mean, the truth is often insulting.
And I find that insulting. Not because I'm defending you, Lemon. I'm totally against this. And let's get real here. Even Bill Maher gave you the what the smeg look when you said that. I mean, that's pretty bad when Maher, who's a leftist, and let's get real, when during Trump's first term, he said he wants the economy to crash and burn just to get him out of office. So he's a piece of work on his own. And I always said with Maher, he's backing off to save himself from the mob. But that's a completely different video for a different day, because that's just my opinion. But let's get real here. As somebody that voted for Trump, I'm not looking to get on TV. I'm not looking to get to the front of the line. I'm not one of these YouTubers that goes bam, 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 all this red meat. That is not my style and never will be my style. Because like I said earlier, people voted for him for a myriad of reasons. Now, I love how he tried to backpedal on this. I'm referring to, Lemon. He tried to separate black MAGA voters and Republican voters. Well, go back, if you can find it online, I know here on the interwebs, there's videos of his show when he was on CNN. He treated them basically one and the same. There was a reason why black voters showed up for Trump. Go back and watch during the campaign. It's one of those ones to where, from the black community, and I saw this, they are sick and tired of what Democrats were doing, even though they won't publicly come out and admit it. Now, we can have that conversation everybody else have. I can turn that into a 5-hour conversational chat with people. But you have to understand something. There's plenty of people out there, I'm talking about black Americans, that voted for Trump. And they have their reasons, but to say that we're stupid, well, let me start that over. You're basically saying that people did are stupid, inferior, they don't know what they're doing, they can't think or speak for themselves. Mr. Lemon, people like you are the same reason why black Americans can't stand the super rich white liberal, because they even think that black people can't speak for themselves or think for themselves. And that's no lie. And I hate use race like that, but I'm just, like I said, I'm just stating the obvious. And you can shide me for that, hammer me for that, but it is what it is. And I hate, it's just, ooh, just burns me. Now, like I said, I'm keeping this PG because I actually want a lot of views on this. But let me ask you this question. What say you? Am I right? Am I wrong? Should I have a better outlook on this? Please let me know in the comments below. Well, I'm going to get off here. Now, I hope you enjoyed this video, and stay tuned for the next edition of Mind of a Black Moderate Conservative.